Hello everyone, welcoming you all to this new academic session 2020-2021 of class 11th. So as you all know, every year lakhs of students face a gradual divergence after the 10th class examination, where they have to select a subject of their own choice, whether to select physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics. So I know that all of you had a lot of confusion to select this stream. So after the 10th exam, all of you had a lot of confusion, all of you had a lot of doubts in your mind whether to select mathematics, whether to select physics, biology or chemistry. So now I hope that you have taken a firm decision, you are determined with your stream. Are you? Yeah, you must have a focus, or you must have a firm determination. You must have a great decision in your life. You must have a great aim in your life. Then only you will be able to succeed or achieve. Okay, so one of the greatest advantages of this bio stream is that it allows you to become smarter, cleverer, intelligent and progressive. And also it increases your scientific skill, knowledge and theory, whatever you come across in your life. So hope all of you are focused, all of you are having a great decision, determined with this bio stream. So welcoming you all once again. Dear students, let us discuss the first chapter, that is regarding the living world. So this chapter is very easy and very simple. So topics to be covered in these chapters are the introduction part, what is living, diversity in the living world, taxonomic categories and the taxonomical aids. So I hope the slides are clear to you. So what is living? Let us discuss. What is life? Life is a unique, complex organization of molecules expressing through chemical reactions which lead to growth, development, responsiveness, adaptation and to reproduction. So definition for the life. Okay, what is life if somebody asks? So we can say that in a simple way, it's a unique, complex organization of molecules expressing through the chemical reactions which lead to growth, which lead to development, which lead to responsiveness, adaptation and reproduction. So let's discuss what is a living organism. So what's a living organism? A living organism means it's a self-replica, evolving and self-regulating interactive system capable of responding to the stimuli. So a living organism means it's a self-replica, evolving and self-regulating interactive system capable of responding to the stimuli. Stimuli in the sense, if somebody come and touch me, or if somebody comes and slap me, I am responding to that particular situation. That's what the stimuli means. So now we have discussed what is a life, what is living organisms. Now let us discuss the properties of the living organisms. What are the properties of living organisms? We can say it as, is the slide clear to you? So the growth, first one is growth and second one is reproduction and the third one is metabolism and the fourth one cellular organization and the fifth one is consciousness. So these are the properties of living organisms. So we will discuss this one in detail. So once again, let us see the properties of the living organisms. They are growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization and consciousness. Let us discuss the first property of the living organisms. What is that? Growth. So growth, we know that in plants, growth continues throughout their lifespan. So in the plants, growth continues to their lifespan. So I hope it is clear to you now. Is the image clear here? So in plants, growth continues throughout the lifespan. But in animals, growths are being restricted up to the certain age. In animals, growths are being restricted up to the certain age. However, we can say that cell division occurs to replace their cells. Cell division. In plants, the growth will be continued, but in animals, growth is only up to the certain age. And next point that I would like to discuss is that regarding the growth. Growth we cannot define as the property of a living organism. Why? Because growth is the increase in mass and size. We can say that growth is increase in mass and size. So non-living objects also can grow. Okay, like the surface of the accumulation of the materials such as mountains and all. We know that snows will be coming and covering the mountains, and it will be increasing in mass and size. So we cannot select the growth as a defining property of the living organisms. As I have told you, growth. I told you the plants that throughout their life they will be growing, but in animals it is restricted up to the certain age. And growth we cannot define as the property of a living organism. Why? Because the growth means it is increase in mass and size. Growth means it is increase in mass and size. For non-living objects also may grow. How? By accumulation of the materials. As you can see here, snow and all, the mountains will be covering with the snows, and it will be increasing in the mass. So growth we cannot say it as a defining property of the living organisms. So in living organisms, always growth will be from inside. Next property of the living organism we will discuss, reproduction. So reproduction means it is the property of progeny having similar feature of those of the parents. We know that organisms reproduce asexually as well as sexually. Organisms reproduce sexually as well as asexually. And in unicellular organisms, always growth and reproduction are the same because they reproduce by the cell division. In unicellular organisms, the growth and the reproduction are the same because they will be reproducing by the cell division. We all know that we cannot say the reproduction also as a living the properties of the living organisms. Why? Because there are many organisms that do not reproduce. You can see the example of mules, you can see the example of worker bee, you can see here the image. Mule, the worker bee, as well as the infertile human couple. Okay, human couples are also examples. So they do not reproduce. So for example, mules, the worker bee and infertile human couples, they don't reproduce. So we cannot say that reproduction is the perfect defining property of the living organisms. So the first one that we have discussed was growth. We have learned that it is increase in mass and size, so we cannot say define it as a property of living organism. And the second one, reproduction. So living organisms reproduce sexually as well as asexually, but in some cases, as I have told you, the worker bee, the mule, the infertile human couples, they don't reproduce. So hence the reproduction also we cannot say it as a define it as a living properties. So the next property of the living organisms here we are going to discuss is regarding metabolism. Metabolism means it is the sum total of the biochemical reactions that which is taking place inside the living system. So sum total of the biochemical reactions that taking place inside a living system. So we can say the metabolism as a defining feature of the living organisms. So biochemical reactions means what type of biochemical reactions? Do you have any idea of the biochemical reaction? Then we can say that it is a transformation of one molecule to different molecules. Transformation of one molecule to different molecules inside the cell. That is biochemical reaction. So we can define it as a properties of living beings. So biochemical reactions, how does it take place? With the help of enzymes. We know that enzymes means catalyst, that which is taking place inside the cells. Enzymes means proteins that speed up the rate of the chemical reactions. Hope it is clear to you. So metabolism we can define it as a property of living organisms. Is it clear? So the next property of the living organism is of cellular organization. So we all know that organisms are made up of cells. It is made up of one or more cells. So we can say that it is the defining feature of living cells. We have learned about the plant cell, we have learned about the animal cell in class 9th and 10th, isn't it? So organisms that which is made up of one or more. So we can say that cellular organization is a property of living organisms. So the next property of the living organisms is consciousness. So it is the ability of organisms to sense their environment, responding to the external stimuli, environmental stimuli like water, light, temperature, other organisms, chemicals, pollutants, etc., etc., responding to that particular stimuli. You can see here plant responding to the light, okay, and touch me not, or we can say the growing under artificial light, plants growing under artificial lights and responding to the chemicals. Okay, so consciousness, it is the ability of organisms to sense their environment. So all the organisms, we know that they are aware about their surroundings. Almost all the organisms. We know that human being is the only human being is the only one who is able, who is conscious or who is aware about himself or herself, isn't it? So we can say that consciousness is the defining property of the living organisms. So far what we have discussed was, the first one we have told is about growth, and second one what we have learned was about reproduction. And we can say that reproduction and growth, we cannot define it as a living property because they have their own disadvantages, we have learned. And we have learned metabolism, cellular organization and consciousness. These three are the defining properties of the living organisms. And we have learned that life is a self-replicating, self-evolving, self-regulating, interactive systems capable of responding to the external stimuli. External stimuli in the sense external touch. If somebody comes and touches us, or if somebody comes and pats us, or if somebody comes and slaps us, so responding to the external stimuli, isn't it? Hope the properties of the living organisms are clear to you. Once again I will discuss with you the growth. Second one what we have learned was reproduction, but growth and reproduction we cannot define it as a property of living organisms, but we have learned cellular organization, metabolism and consciousness are the defining properties of the living organisms. Is it clear? Now let us discuss the diversity in the living world. Diversity in the living world. Biodiversity refers to the number and types, the number of types of species that represents the earth. They may differ in morphology, they may differ in size, they may differ in color, they may differ in anatomy, they may differ in habitats, they may differ in habits. Okay, habits I hope that you may know. Okay, habits means wherever they live, the surroundings. Okay, they are living wherever the species or the particular organism live, that is termed as habitat. So currently we can say that there are 1.7 to 1.8 millions of living organisms in this world. Okay, it's known to the science. So out of this 1.25 we can say that of animals and 0.5 millions are of plant species. So biodiversity means it diverse in its morphology, size, color, anatomy, shape, etc. Is it clear? So now let us learn about the taxonomic hierarchy. So what does this word mean? The word taxonomy, it's derived from a Greek word taxis. What is the meaning of taxis? Means arrangement or division. Nomos, what is the meaning of nomos? That means meaning method. So taxonomy means it's a branch of biology that refers the process of classifying the different living species. That means taxon means it's referred to as a group of organisms that is classified as a unit. So we will learn this taxonomic hierarchy tomorrow in details. Why? Because we have to learn regarding the arrangement of the various organisms according to the whether it is to the increasing order, whether it is to the decreasing order. Since it is the first class, today this is enough. I know that all of you will be learning and going through it. So all of you might have got the hope that all of you might have got the NCERT textbook. So go through the NCERT textbook, read every day. Apart from NCERT textbook, you also must have side books also. So you must have a vast reading so that you will increase your knowledge, and every day you must read 1 or 2 points extra regarding what we are studying. So today we have discussed about what is life, then what is living organisms, and the properties of the living organisms we have discussed. So hope all of you will be going through it. All of you must learn and go through it, read it and learn it. Okay, once again I will tell you the summary that which we have learned about today. About life we have discussed, about living organisms we have discussed about growth, we have discussed about reproduction, we have discussed about metabolism, we have discussed about cellular organization and consciousness. Please go through it, learn well. Wishing you all a wonderful and amazing day. Thank you. Thanks a lot for listening. Thank you, children.